before I was born,
Yes.
we had my mom and dad. They got married in the UK, and they had girls. All the children were girls.
How many girls?
In total, they are 5 girls. I'm the only boy.
5 girls.
Yes, sir. So after the second born, they had another child, but that one died before the third girl.
Yeah.
And the fourth one.
Yeah.
So after the fourth one, it became a problem for my mom in the family, because my dad's family didn't want her to stay, because they couldn't give her the whole typical mentality of when you have a boy, that's the whole.
So the family said she's not going to. The marriage will be interrupted if she doesn't give birth to a boy.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. So she prayed. She started praying. I mean, going to churches, going to the mountain, and at some point, she started praying to God that, okay, if you can just give me just one son, one child who is a boy, I would give him back to you. And so shortly after that, she got pregnant again.
Yeah.
And she found out it was a boy, but she didn't tell my dad. She didn't tell anyone. So journey down the line, my father's family started threatening her that they are bringing another woman for my dad who will be able to bear him male children.
The family will bring another woman?
Yes.
He doesn't have to be interested. They'll bring the person.
They'll bring the person. And he was even just...
And by their own programming, they know how to program male.
Yes, I think so. So bringing, at close to the time of delivery, they started bringing different women for him to choose from.
And they knew your mom was pregnant?
They knew she was pregnant, but everybody just believed
another girl.
It's another girl. There is no cause for anything. So they just went on with the process. So on the day I was going to be born was when they came to do I think a final kind of arrangement where he would just get engaged to the woman right there and there, and she will move into the house.
The day you were to be born?
Yes, sir. So during the whole arrangement, my dad didn't follow my mom to the hospital because I think he also believed that maybe I should pick another wife, or maybe was just going ahead with the entire plan according to his family. So my mom went to the hospital herself, drove herself to the hospital, was in the hospital, gave birth to the child, gave birth to me. And I think on him hearing that it was a boy that was born, he left the entire arrangements that was going in the house and ran to the hospital. So my own birth was what cancelled out the entire she losing her space in the home. So that was how she stayed.
But looking at the science of it, the concept of giving birth to either male or female is not the woman's issue. She only supplies X chromosomes. It's man that supplies XY.
Yes.
And because in Africa, we just believe that it's the woman that that it's the woman's fault. Meanwhile, it is what you are given that is being incubated. Wow.
Yes. So that's the story around
how you were born.
Yes. So the whole dedication, I used to tell her when I found out this story, I was a bit upset with her because the kind of life I lived did not show that I was actually dedicated to God.
She told God, if you give me a boy,
yes,
I will dedicate him to you.
Give him back to you.
You said the life you lived.
Yes.
Didn't show you were dedicated to God.
No. So I lived, although she used to take me to, when she was going to pray, she used to attend different prayer programs on different mountains, Rioki, Dole, Eriho. She used to take me along. There are times in the middle of the night, around 12:01, we are still journeying in the night. There was one time I remember when we were in the bush and we were just going, a very thick jungle. We were just strolling with phone torchlights. So it was one of the security guards in that mountain that found us and then just took us because we were literally lost. Took us to the step of the mountain where we just climbed up. So, but when I began to grow up, I entered secondary school, I started mixing with friends. I didn't know all these things. So I didn't live the life of someone who is dedicated to God. I lived a very nonchalant life. I lived a life not caring about anything, not intentional about anything. But I was a very curious person.
Yeah.
I wanted to know. So the curiosity was what made me start reading books beyond my age. I started reading as little as when I was 3. I was reading encyclopedia. I was reading books on astronomy, astrology. I exposed myself to all that. But one book I did not read is the Bible. So because it seemed very boring, and then I was always seeing King James.
Yes.
So I didn't understand the whole thing. So in school, I was curious. I was just the average nonchalant guy. Just let's go to school. But I just knew that there was something wrong, there was something missing. But then I just kept on with life, just going around. So 2015, after, this is after I finished secondary school 2011, then I went to Federal School of Statistics in Ibadan. Then 2015, after Federal School of Statistics 2015, was when, 2015 January was when I followed my friend to a brothel. He told me that I wanted to go to a brothel, that we should just go and hang out. And I said, okay, no problem. Meanwhile, before that time, I already got exposed to porn.
Yeah.
I got exposed it happened very easy. Every phone I laid my hands on.
You know your way around the internet?
I hadn't even known my way around the internet so much, but all I could do at that point in time was know how to download these Watrick games, Prince of Persia and all that. So, but I always found my way around anybody's phone I could get my hands on. I found porn in their videos.
Wow.
On their phone.
Wow.
Every single person. If I meet 10 people, I will find porn in 9 out of 10. It was just something, looking back at it, it looked like it was just something very intentional.
And it looked like it was pursuing you everywhere you were
Yes, yes, sir.
Until you got into it.
Till I got into it. So I got into it, although I had not started masturbating at the time. I got into it, it was very strong. Everything, that was what I just wanted to do, was watch porn. I would bury myself in it. So it took away a chunk of my time. So times when I used for studying, I used to watch it.
And to socialize.
Exactly. So, but then I was still studying, I was still the curious person. So back to 2015, when I followed my friend to a brothel, and he showed me, okay, this is what happens, this is what happens. Okay, then I met with one of the ladies there, and we went in and did whatever. So that was how my first exposure to sex was. I can't remember how old I was now.
You went to a brothel?
Yes, sir.
To meet prostitutes?
Yes, sir.
You knew that's what you were going to do?
I knew that's what I was going to do, but I was very indifferent about it. Just, okay, let's see.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
And that's your friend?
Yes.
He's used to that?
He's used to it.
That was your first time?
That was my own first time.
Were you in school then?
I just finished my ND in Federal School of Statistics. So I was still just floating around looking for, trying to get an admission into a university. That was before I got admission into university. So that was how it started for me. So, and then I was always going. After he took me there, I was always going.
Yourself?
So, yes, myself. I didn't even go with him anymore. So I was always going. So it's the point where I knew, at least in different locations in Ibadan, I knew different brothels. And I was always frequent there whenever I get any money.
You know, to think of the fact that I lived in Ibadan, it's like when people are looking for something, they know where it is. So if somebody who smokes weed now gets to an environment, if you give the person 2 minutes, he will know where his colleagues are. He knows how to get it.
Yes.
And that was how it was for you?
Yes, that's how it was for me. That was the first exposure.
The prostitutes you were carrying, were they not older than you?
Some of them were. Some of them were younger.
Younger, like what age? 18, 19. And already doing prostitution?
Yes.
And those that were older, like what age then?
30, 35.
And you were in your 20s?
I was in my early 20s.
And they knew that you were younger?
They knew I was younger. I had not had grown any beard or anything. I was fresh out of secondary school.
How much were you paying them?
500 naira, 1,000. I think the highest was 1,500. Just for the pleasure of it.
By the way, attached to this video is a link for a new YouTube channel, which is Femi Lazarus Plus. Now, there are stories coming, and they will be brutal. We have stories of drug addict and prostitute. Many of them are still in the process, and they are looking for a way out. And these stories will be as real as it is and as raw as it is, in the sense that there is a world that needs to know about this life that many young people are getting themselves into. So don't click on the YouTube channel for Femi Lazarus Plus if you don't have the spine to take serious stories. We don't want to mix them with these particular stories. Right. So those girls were taking 1,500 naira, 1,500, 1,000 naira.
1,000 naira.
That's as cheap as it is.
Yes.
Your parents?
Yes.
Did they know that the man promised unto God was now paying prostitute?
No. My mom, at the time, they were separated already. So my mom was...
The separation, did it contribute to what aided them not to know?
Maybe. Because
Did your mom later find out?
she still does not know.
So if she sees this story, this will be the first time she's finding out
Yes, this will be the first
that her son once carried prostitute.
Yes.
I just want to ask this question to check how far you went. If you're going to count number of prostitutes you carried, it's going to be up to like how many?
I don't think there's a number. Because I was very frequent with him.
Frequent, like
Yes.
like weekly or monthly?
Like weekly, like 3, 4, 5 times a week. I'll be there. I spend most of my time there. Not like I just sit with them. I just come do whenever I get any amount of money. That's like the first thing I want to do. Just want to.
You know, patronizing prostitute can be addicting.
Yes.
One time I was in Okoko. Then I was trying to get a bus years back. Then a guy ran towards me and was sweating. And was like, "Guy, how far?" I said, "I did." He said, "I beg, you know where babes they chill?" I said, "My brother, if you look to where I was close to market.
Okay.
It was around the market. I said, if you look to my right, you saw babes where they chill." So I was actually pointing to the woman selling pepper, selling fish and all that. The guy said, "My guy, you did that." I said, "Well done, bro, anything for you now." The guy came back and said, "Bro, how far now? Look, this kind of babe." I said, "I mean babe." I said, "My brother, what kind of babe are you talking about?" I said, "I mean babe. I said, "Oh, you mean..."
You're that one.
He said, yeah. I said, "Bro, I don't know. I've been thinking that this babe when they sell pepper, you want chicken." Right? So that I can't get that picture off my head. You know, that's one very addicting practice that people don't do.
Yes, it was. It was very addictive.
Was there any other thing you were doing apart from carrying prostitutes?
So at this time, before I got into uni, like
You had bad experience carrying prostitutes? Any bad experience? When they beat you up, you didn't pay?
no, actually.
You were always
In
paid?
fact, some of them even wanted me to date them because they liked me that much. Yeah. Most of them were
More like be your girlfriend.
yes.
Then when you come to see your girlfriend, somebody else is inside.
Somebody else is
Counseling
like that. Okay, so it was a lot.
They wanted you to date them.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
They preferred spending time with me.
Were you preaching to them?
Preaching, I didn't even know what that meant at the time. I didn't know what it meant.
So apart from carrying them, what else were you doing? In terms of vices around that season?
Nothing. I was not a drinking person because of drinking. I didn't want to start feeling inconvenient with or having a full stomach because I tried it once and it backfired. So I didn't like it, but that was what I was doing. So late 2015 was when I got into Unilag for Social Development Administration program.
Yeah.
And when I got into Unilag, 2015, when I got into Unilag was when so I got there, I got my own space. There was no space in the campus.
Hostel.
So I got my own space. I got my own everything. I had a TV, I had games in my house. Like comfortable life, more living like.
Were you into internet fraud?
I was not, but I had a lot of people who came around me that were into it. So because I was comfortable, I had money. I mean, my mom started getting some jobs that made her have access to some level of money that made me comfortable. So getting to school, I met different people. It was a different life completely from Ibadan.
Yeah.
It was the kind of people that were there. I stayed at Shomolu.
Okay.
So the kind of people that were there, it was very strange and it was easy. Then I met a guy who were friends. We met at Ibadan before I went, but he was the one that told me that, do you know that you do not have to pay to have sex with a woman? So I asked him, I said, okay, how do I do this? So then he now showed me how to speak to a woman, to make sure you are not telling her that you want to have sex with her, but you make her want it from you. So she will be the one to initiate the process.
Fellow students?
Some fellow students, some outside.
How were you studying, doing all this?
I studied. It was although I wasn't a very excellent student, but I managed. So getting to school, I didn't have problems. I didn't have issues with money or anything.
Does your wife know all this story?
Yes, she does. She's very much aware. So getting to school, I had already known how to speak to ladies. I didn't have to go to a brothel anymore. But from time to time, I still found myself going to a brothel just in case I'm not able to speak to a lady that can, just find so. And then there were ladies or girls now in school that when they found out that I was staying alone, I was living the life that, they wanted some of their male friends to have. They would come around, no mommy, or I was not in the hostel, they come around freely, so they wanted to spend more time with me. So that way was another way I was able to,
get into many
of those things. So shortly after I got to Lagos was when I got introduced to smoking. It was not any peer pressure. I didn't see anybody, and I was like, no. I just, let's try this.
What did you try?
I tried, the first one I took was weed.
You've smoked weed before?
Yes, sir.
Nobody looks like it.
So the first one I took was weed, and then it seemed better. Like it seemed like nice. So
nice compared to what? Compared to oxygen or
compared to it seemed the way you feel, and it made me hungry when it made me have appetite to eat. So I started taking that. Then it graduated to hybrid, something they call hybrid.
Educate me. What's that?
I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's called a hybrid. It's called trees. Hybrid trees. So
trees like cinnamon or what?
I'm not sure if that's what they call it now, but this was.
It's made from what?
It's made from leaf from a plant. So it is broken. I don't know how to explain it now, but they will break it in such a way that it will become almost like powder, but not like powder. So we roll it in a
Whistler.
In a Whistler, yes.
That sounds like tongues. But if you are there, you know what we are talking about.
Roll it in there, and
there was a guy that I know that said he's dead now. He doesn't like using Whistler to smoke. He said he's addicted to using Bible to smoke. So and he doesn't just use Bible leaflets to smoke. It's Book of Psalms. He said that's where his inspiration comes from.
That's another level.
It's deception. It's Book of Psalms. His mom's Bible will be tearing the Psalms and molding.
Wow.
So this hybrid, what was it compared to the weed?
The experience was higher. It kicks in faster, and the highness was, I think it lasted longer. It was way better. It felt way better. So then after hybrid, Journey to Loud. Yes, that's another higher version. Then Journey to Colorado, that's another higher version.
Wait now. This Colorado that you mentioned, I've seen people take it online and they'll just stand like this. Can be like that for 30 minutes or some 1 hour. It's make you dance.
There's even one that makes you slow, because I didn't just do smoking. Along with the smoking, I also did pills. The blue pills.
That's one that they put on the lips, on the tongue.
Yes, Refnol, 512, 412, I can't remember. Then there is one white one, and there is I think Molly or something. Around those things, we were able to get it. It was something that we spent a lot of money on. So.
And you were on campus then?
Yes, but I never did it on campus. I was always in the house.
Did that make you violent anyway?
I was never a violent person, so so it was not just the sex thing anymore. It was now
being high. And some of you and the girls to get high sometimes together.
Yeah, we get high before we have sex. We get high. It makes them want to. The drugs even does the work. I don't have to do any talk.
Really?
So they just take it and just get right to it. But maybe sometimes sleep first, wake up, eat, then do it, then back to eating. So it got so bad that if I didn't smoke, I won't be able to eat. Yes.
To do breakfast?
Even breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah. So to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you need to first enter into his gate with Igbo first.
Yes. Yes, sir. So it was that bad. It was that bad.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yes, sir. Yes. It was that bad.
Were you going to church then?
I didn't know that there was even anything called campus fellowship at the time. I believed in it like they don't have such a thing.
Oh, you didn't know they?
I never experienced. I never saw them around. Maybe because of where I was hanging. It's not a very big place. It's not as big as UI.
Yeah.
So, but I really didn't spend so much time in the campus like that. After classes, I'm out of the place because standing to talk to and start doing whatnot in the school was just a problem for me. So after all this, down the line, there's this girl. I met her, and she told me that, I met her on the street. I went to buy something, I think. And she invited me over for Bible study on a Sunday. So I did want to attend, but again, the curiosity kicked in. I wanted to know Bible study on a Sunday. I used to see Jehovah's Witness come and meet me. And then I'll just, no, I wanted, okay, let's see how we go. Plus, because it was a girl that invited me, I had plans
for her.
Maybe we could get into something. But at the end of the day, it was maybe we could get into something, just maybe friends with benefits or so. So inviting me to the Bible study. I attended the Bible study, heard the preaching. It didn't really do. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention because I just wanted to speak to her. So we became friends, and it was that Bible study day that I knew that I can't do this with this kind of person. So I started trying to avoid her, but it was at that time she even wanted to get closer. So she even told me she liked me, and I told her that
she went from winning your soul to liking you.
Yes. So I don't think the plan was to win my soul. Well, anyways, maybe. So she really liked me to the point where she just wanted to be around me at all times. And so I told her time and time again that she would even cry. I said, I can't do anything with you. Because of the kind of person or the kind of things that I do. I'm not interested in a relationship. Although I was in a relationship at the time.